boys and girls. They are exceptional students. They are very well mannered, and they're really, truly a pleasure to work with. As you can see, we've got the beginning band first. Actually, it was worse than that. But over the past 3 months, they have worked very hard. They have done very, very well. So I'd like to open the program this evening with one of the first songs that they learned. This is a traditional song I think you'll recognize. It's called Santa Buns. This is the first time we've had the opportunity to have an orchestra. I had a few students that came and some parents that came to me and said, "Are you going to be teaching strings this year?" And I said, "Well, I don't think so, because in the years past it had just been band." However, at the parent meeting night, I asked how many expressed an interest in a string program that I needed to have a minimum of 6. Well, I wound up with 9. And we have had more fun. If I had known at the beginning it was going to be so much fun, there would have been no hesitation whatsoever. And I think they have a lot of fun too. It'd be awful hard to get up and come to school at 7 o'clock in the morning if it wasn't fun. So, we had a very disturbing report this morning. I was checking with Santa Claus at the North Pole, and it seems like they ran out of flu vaccine, and all their reindeer have come down with the flu. And so Santa at this point is singing the North Pole Blues. Okay, so Carmen, you and Jessica start. North Pole Blues. North Pole Blues. Carmen and Jessica, you play measure number 1. Derek. Ryan, you be ready with measure number 2. Catherine, John, measure number 3. Okay, and Jamie, you and Andrew, measure number 4. And then it's going to be back to you again, Carmen. Okay? Do the next measure. And then Derek, you would run the next measure. And so on. Okay, we just wrap around and around and around. Let's see how it works. Students don't know it. I've been using this technique for quite a while. While they're busy having fun, they don't realize they're learning to count and read music like crazy because they've got to be able to follow along so they know when it's their turn to jump in and play. So you did beautiful. Well, since Santa can't use his sleigh to come flying through the snow, there was a marina up there. They said, well, you know, you can borrow one of my canoes and you can row. So that's what Santa's doing this year. He's going to row to your house. You have troubles judging your schedule, so he gets a little off schedule. And there's a little girl at one house that caught Santa in the act. So this little song is sung for Christine. Santa wound up having to sing his way out of this one. Christmas season would be complete without jingle bells. So at this time, group will play Jingle Bells. One of my favorite string instruments is the cello, mainly because, that might be because I played the cello a long time ago. And Andrew, I've just kind of given free rein. He said, do I have to just play what we're doing here, or can I work ahead a little bit? And so I told him, you know, you may work ahead as long as you're very careful and you're reading all the instructions and doing everything correctly. Well, he took that to mean, my gosh, she's going to let me go gangbusters, and he has. He is doing fabulously well. As a matter of fact, I'm having a hard time kind of keeping up with him a little bit. He is going to perform a solo tonight called Dreidel. Thank you all very much.